Good morning, good morning. Happy Monday. It is 8 a.m. and it is April 13th. It is currently very rainy in Washington, D.C., so I hope where you're at it is not raining. My name is KJ Hamus and I am a yoga teacher here in Washington, D.C., and I'm really excited to lead you through this morning flow. Hi, friend. So if you want to take a moment and let me know where you're hailing from, feel free to write something in the comments. If you prefer to remain anonymous this morning, that's totally great. Just know that I'm really excited to have you here. So we're going to go ahead and get started on our backs this morning. Slippers off, coffee in hand, or water or tea, depending on what's your choice. Off to the side so I don't hit that. We're going to get started on our backs. So a couple ways to get started on your backs this morning, whatever feels good. First can be just a traditional Savasana, legs out long on the back. Or you might bring the soles of the feet to touch. And you can place your yoga blocks or your yoga books, your temporary blocks underneath your knee. So if you're using a book today as a block, you want to make sure it's a little bit thicker. And maybe you have two different types of books to create the height that you need. As you're coming on back, if you're taking our reclined butterfly pose, our Supta Baddha Konasana, lay on back. Maybe tuck the flesh of the booty down just a little bit. Arms can be up, hands can be up, palms up, receiving energy, or hands can be down for a bit more grounding. Up to you and up to what you need this morning. Legs can be in more of a diamond shape or they can be closer to the body. Go ahead and adjust to what feels best for you. And just take a couple of deep, slow breaths in through the nose. And then exhale, open the mouth, sigh it out. Let it go. Take a deep, slow breath in through the nose. And exhale, open the mouth. Let it go. One more full breath in. And exhale, open the mouth. Let it go. You are here. For the next 60 minutes, you have nowhere else to be except on your mat, being here, working towards your intention for yourself. So just let the breath return to its natural rhythm. And over our time together, we're going to work into awakening the body, warming it up, being kind and gentle to the spine as it's going to be a little bit stiffer this morning. So doing some things to awaken our spine, which is also the place that the main energy channel runs along. If at any point during this 60 minutes you want to take a break, make some adjustments to the shape, please feel free to do so. And I'll try and walk you through as many adjustments to the shape, as many as variations as I can. But know that this is your practice. And if at any point you're like, I just want to lay in Savasana, that is absolutely fine. So as you're settling into the breath and its natural rhythm, just bring a light awareness to the breath. Before we control it, before we change it, before we do anything to it, just start to notice where the breath begins in the body. So even as you receive the breath in through the nose, it might be gravitating toward one particular spot this morning, and that's where you feel the breath truly take hold. And then as you're doing that, just notice how the breath is traveling in the body. So how is it moving? We always want to spend a good amount of time becoming aware of the breath, because the breath is truly what drives our practice. The shapes we make are there to help us open up the body, move stagnant energy around so we can create more space for breath, which carries our prana, our life force on it. And as we're observing the breath, know there's no right or wrong. It just is. So see if we can just begin to notice without judgment. As you're observing where the breath moves and where it starts in the body, notice what qualities the breath is bringing into the practice today. So, are you still carrying things from yesterday into this morning that are affecting the breath? Did something new pop up overnight? Or as you began to lay down, did something else pop up? The opposite of that, has something started to go away? We'll just take 2 more natural breaths here, observing the breath. And then as you're ready, on your next inhale, breathe in deeply through the nose. Fill up the belly, the back, and the ribs. So the belly is reaching toward the sky, the back is reaching toward the mat. And then as you exhale, start by opening the mouth. Sigh it out, let it go. As if you're fogging up a mirror. Breathing in slowly, belly, back, ribs, inhale. And then exhale, open the mouth. Let it go. This time, as you inhale, fill up the breath and begin to use the muscles in the back of the throat to draw the breath in, starting to create the sound of the ocean. And then begin on the exhale by opening the mouth. And then halfway through, sealing the lips and switching the breath out through the nose. So that same ha sound out through the nose. Inhale. Exhale. So notice how that sounds happens. Try that one more time here. Inhale. Exhale. We're coming into our Ujjayi pranayama, our victorious breath. So now we're going to breathe in through the nose and out through the nose, those same ha sounds we were making. And we're using our victorious breath this morning to help us find balance in the nervous system, to go from parasympathetic to sympathetic, hopefully with ease, working toward that. It's still a practice. It's going to help us build internal heat so we can warm up the inside of the body, get the sensory organs involved in the practice, but more importantly, help us stay present in the moment. So where our awareness travels, our energy travels, and our Ujjayi helps us with that. So hopefully you're continuing to breathe. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the nose. Take that twice more, finding your breath rhythm, working right now toward equal length inhale and equal length exhale. Last time, inhale. Exhale. So stay with that breath, loosening the jaw, placing a little space in between the teeth. On your next inhale, straighten the legs if they're not already straight. And as you exhale, draw the left knee into the chest. Interlace the fingers below the knee and squeeze the knee just to the side of the ribs. Take a full inhale through the nose and a full exhale through the nose. So that light pressure is helping us work into our psoas muscle, one of our main muscles for breathing outside of the diaphragm, and also it's a main hip muscle. So one more breath in here, press down a little farther, and exhale. This time as you inhale, straighten the left leg to the sky. Slight bend in the knee, flex the foot. Notice how that affects the stretch in the leg. So keep the hands behind the thigh, not right behind the knee, below it or above it. There's a lot of there's a lot of nerves behind the knee. We want to be mindful of that. So just slightly below or slightly above. Flex or point up to you. Breathe in, just try and lift the toes to the sky. As you exhale, reach the leg back slightly, feeling that stretch. Twice more. Breath in. Breath out. As you inhale, straighten leg. And as you exhale, bring the straightened leg across the right side of the body, flexing the foot. So working into our IT band here, toes toward the nose. Arms can be out to the side, gaze in the opposite direction. Let's take 3 full Ujjayi breaths here. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the nose. So we'll start to add some more flowing movements, but we want to understand how our breath is connecting to movement today, working toward matching our inside breath to our outside movement so we can feel breathe throughout the whole body. Take one more breath in here and breath out. And this time as you inhale, prop up onto your right hand. Keep that left leg nice and straight. And then as you exhale, lift the leg about 1/2 inch. And then take some baby pulses, warming up the glute. So about 1 inch. We're here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhale. Come back through center. Draw the knee into the chest. And exhale, straighten out the left leg. So switch sides. As you inhale, draw your right knee into the chest. As you exhale, using the hands, start to bring the knee outside of the rib cage, pressing into that psoas just a little bit. This, again, the psoas is a really deep-rooted hip muscle, and we're just gently warming it up. So take every inhale, you're going to find length in the spine. On the exhales, maybe you bring that knee in just a little bit more, again, to the outside of the ribs. You might be feeling some compression on the front side of the body in that hip crease. That's okay, just maybe don't go as deep here. We're still warming up that space, and you're probably reaching a form of compression. Not probably, you are likely reaching a form of compression. And that could be bony compression or medium compression, where bone meets the skin. Bony compression is where bone meets bone. We'll take one more breath in here and breath out. As you inhale, straighten the leg up to the sky. Ujjayi breath. Again, in through the nose, out through the nose. It starts to sound like a very soft Darth Vader. Now you flex the foot or point the foot. It doesn't have to be the exact same, depending on where this hamstring is at, where this leg feels. Slight bend in the knee. Start to press the neck into the earth. Take a deep breath in, and maybe gently exhale. Bring the leg a little closer to you. Try not to lock the knee. Again, we're warming up. One more breath in. Breath out. Inhale, reach the toes toward the sky. As you exhale, flex the foot. Draw the leg over the body. So it's going to come across the body. Arms can reach out. Gaze in the opposite direction. Gentle twist in the spine. Take 2 breaths here. We're being really mindful with the spine because the discs in between the vertebrae have hydrated overnight, which is what they're supposed to do. But that makes the spine a little stiffer as they're not as movable or not as flexible at the moment. They're like a gel-like substance. And so as we move throughout the day, they'll start to compress, being able to take a bit more load with the spine. As you inhale, lift up onto your left hand. And as you exhale, bring that left leg up. Flex the toes. Warm up the hips. Let's breathe here. 5. Little baby pulses, nice and slow. 4, 3, 2, And 1. As you inhale, draw the knees back into the chest, both knees this time. And then as you exhale, just take some gentle rock and rolls up and down the length of the spine. So massage out the spine, massage out the back. As you breathe in, you'll head back. As you breathe up, you'll head forward. Take 1 more full round. Inhale back, exhale up. And then crossing at the ankles, find a comfortable seat. I'm just going to turn to the screen so you can see me this morning. Getting a little warm here. So here, let's invite some really big movements into the spine, opening up. So as you inhale, open up the chest, open up the heart. As you exhale, give yourself a big hug, round through the back, bring the gaze inward. Inhale, open up the chest, open up the heart, bring the arms as far behind you as you'd like. Exhale, round the back, dome it in. Seated cat-cows, 2 more. Move with your breath, open up. And then exhale, dome it in. Last time. And then in. And this time as you come up, find a nice straight spine. And bring your elbows, hands to opposite elbows. So push, let's just for a moment, push our forearms down onto the crown of the head. Press the crown of the head into the forearm and the hip bones, the sit bones down into the earth. So creating a connection between the crown of the head and the base of the spine, the root. So top to bottom, feeling a subtle line of energy start to develop along the spine. As you inhale, just lift the arms up slightly. And then as you exhale, go ahead and lean to one side. Gently inhale, come to center. Exhale over to the other side. Inhale back. And then take that same circle. So nice and slow, find your breath rhythm. And make sure you're not hula hooping the hips. If you're hula hooping the hips, we're not able to work into the thoracic spine, which is the part of the spine we're really targeting this morning. And that part of the spine doesn't always get a lot of work. So let's take them in the opposite direction. Nice and slow. Just paying attention to what this does for the back and how this can change the breath. Is it harder as we're adding a bit more flowing movement to stay with Ujjayi? And guess what? That's normal. Just do your best. Let the breath be your primary focus. And then on your next inhale, release the hands down. And as you exhale, come into a tabletop shape. Stack shoulders over wrists, hips over knees. So finding that long spine again, crown of the head reaches forward, hips will reach back. Round a little bit through the shoulders. So let the scapula roll across the rib cage toward the ground. Belly button into the spine, low ribs cinched together. With the shoulder, I want to mention, we're not bringing the shoulders to the ears. We're finding just this rotation, an external rotation of the shoulders to help open them up. You might even turn the fingertips out just a little bit to help you find that space, but do keep the shoulders stacked over the wrists. Breathing here. Let's take 3 breaths in. Inhale. Exhale. So notice that spine. Send the breath to the spine to warm it up. Inhale. Exhale. One more, breath in, breath out. As you inhale, curl the toes under, lift the knees just to hover. About not even half an inch, half a centimeter. And then as you exhale, just lift the knees 4 inches. Inhale, draw them down to hover. Find this breath nice and slow. Only the knees move. We're just moving a little bit. We're warming up the core for 3, 2. Last one, leaning back in our hover. Take a breath in and exhale, child's pose. So bring the knees as wide as the mat, big toes to touch, arms out nice and long. Chin comes down or the forehead. Active child's pose. So reach your fingertips nice and long. Send the hips back. You don't need to worry about the hips touching the heels, okay? There's a lot of reasons it may not be doing that this morning, and we're not going to worry about that. We're working for the stretch. The intention behind this is to help us warm up the hips and find length in the spine. So as you inhale, reach forward. And as you exhale, walk the hands over to the right. Left hand plants on top of the right. With every inhale, you're going to lengthen the fingertips forward. And every exhale, feel that left hip pull back. So inhale, lengthen. Exhale, left hip pull back. Let me inhale, walk through center. And as you exhale, switch sides. So feeling a stretch along the side of the body. So inhale, lengthen through the spine. And exhale, right hip pulls back. So counteraction, forward and back. It's not big movements. They're very subtle. But our breath is still strong. So inhale through the nose. And exhale out through the nose. As you inhale, come back through center. And exhale, pull yourself up to your tabletop once again, warming up the spine, warming up the core. Inhale, lift the knees to hover, uncurl the toes. Exhale, lift the hips up. Find your rhythm, very nice and slow. Low belly into the back. Again, we're not sucking it in, we're just finding engagement of the core. Keep moving, keep breathing. 3, 2, breath in. And exhale, downward facing dog. Pedal out the feet. I even invite you sometimes just to find stillness right away. We always go straight toward movement, which isn't bad. But changing it up, adjusting and taking a moment in stillness to understand where the body is at can really provide a lot of information. More importantly, about the breath. What is our breath telling us about the body? What is it indicating about our practice and what we need? We don't want to ignore those signs. They're really important. And they're going to change from day to day. Feel free, though, if you need to now, pedal out the feet, maybe sway back and forth to plank pose. And then as you're ready, very slowly, find your stillness once again. As you look between the hands, keep the legs straight as long as you can, and walk your way up to the front of the mat, ragdoll. Feet are hips width distance apart, roughly 2 fists width. Let the spine grow nice and long. So shift some of the weight forward a little bit more into the balls of the feet. We don't want the heels lifting off, but we want the weight of the hips over the ankles so we can hinge from our hips and fold. Soft bend in the knees or really big bend, depending on how tight the backside of the body feels. Hands can be down. Hands can reach for opposite elbows, or it might feel good to bring the hands behind the legs. Feels good today for me just to have everything hanging down. When I have my arms hanging down, I'm able to just let the spine release. So find that release for yourself. What do you need? If arms hang down doesn't work, take one of those other 2 options. We'll take one more full breath in here. And full breath out. Keeping a slight bend in the knees, start to tuck the tailbone. Inhale, roll up 1 vertebra at a time. Your knees will be the last thing to straighten, as your head will be the very last thing to stack on top of the body. Meeting in Tadasana, mountain pose. So in our Tadasana, bring one hand to the crown of the head. And then as you inhale, feel the crown of the head press into the hand and the hand into the crown of the head. Tailbone starts to press down toward the earth. So find your neutral spine here where you can hold the shape and nice straight back without feeling a lot of tension in the spine. You might tuck the tailbone under slightly and lift through the low belly. Lift the torso out of the hip bones. Again, Slight engagement of the core, so belly button into the spine just a little, low ribs cinched together. As you inhale, reach the arms up overhead. As you exhale, bend through the knees, bow low. Inhale, lengthen flat back, crown of the head forward. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reach up, look up. And exhale, take it back down. Inhale, lengthen. Hands can come to the shins, reach forward, shift the weight slightly. Exhale, bow low. Reverse swan dive. Inhale, reach up, look up. Let's do that twice more on your own with your breath. Exhale, bring you down. Inhales, lengthen. So just establish the flowing movement with your breath. Notice how the shapes feel in the body. Can you work with the breath to match the inner movement, the outside movement, and vice versa? Find that balance. Coming back up to our last mountain pose. Inhale, reach up, look up. And let's take a sun A. Exhale, hinge and fold. Surya Namaskara A. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, step back, high plank. We'll hold here. So establish your high plank. Bring your feet roughly hips width distance apart, shoulders over the wrists. Heels behind, crown of head forward. Don't let those hips dip. Nice and strong. If you're feeling the hips dip, drop the knee. Keep them lifted. Core is engaged. On your next inhale, we'll all shift our shoulders over our wrists, come to the tops of the toes, and drop the knees down. Think chest and belly as a forklift and lower elbows in all the way down to the ground. Bringing your hands up, inhale, baby cobra. So we're using our back muscles here. Let's hold for several breaths. Establish this shape. So we're lifting up, fingertips are off the ground. We're very, very light. This is all back muscle, nice and slow. Keep your neck in line. Gaze will be about 6 inches in front of you. Inhale, fill up the lungs to lift a little higher. And exhale, slowly lower down. Let's try that again. Inhale, lift up, baby cobra. Exhale, lower. Coming through a tabletop, inhale. Exhale, downward facing dog. So that is one variation of a sun A, drawing down to the knees, lifting up into a baby cobra. Make sure if you take that variation just the same as every other variation, you're going to shift the shoulders over the wrists. Your hips and belly and chest are going to lower down at the same time. Hips are still lifted. So it's still a push-up, even on the knees. We're using that to help us build strength in the shoulders and not compromise the low back. Let's take one more breath in here. Breath out. As you inhale, look forward, step or float up, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reach up, look up. Maybe you come up through center this time. And exhale, bow low. Gaze will follow the thumbs all the way down before inward. Inhale, lengthen, flat back. Exhale, high plank. So you can take your half chaturanga, where you shift forward, draw the knees, or full chaturanga. So from high plank to low, shift shoulders over wrists, lower halfway down, elbows in. Inhaling, baby cobra, or upward facing dog. Thighs lifted. Tops of the feet on the ground as you pull yourself forward. Exhale, downward facing dog. 3 breaths. In upward facing dog, we have a tendency to draw our shoulders back so much that we can stop the breath. So work on keeping the shoulders away from the ears, so pressing into the hands, allowing ourselves to lift up, and broadening across the back as we did in our first tabletop. We're allowing the shoulders to round a little bit, so that's natural rounding. They're not rounding forward. We'll take one more breath here. Breath out. Inhale, look and step forward, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reach up, look up. And let's take this twice more. Exhale, bow low. Inhale, lengthen, halfway lift. Exhale, step or float, high plank to low, your variation. Inhaling, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Inhale. Exhale. As you inhale, look forward, step or float, meeting in your flat back to lengthen. Exhale to fold. Inhale, reach up, look up, last one. Exhale, bow low. You know where you're going by now. Find your breath, making sure that you use the full breath to make the shape. No rush wherever you're at. And then taking 5 breaths in down dog. So we want the intention behind this shape to be about lengthening the breath, keeping the connection between the crown and the root so we can open up the backside of the body. So you may here consider bending the knees, lifting the hips up, pressing the thighs back to find that length. Knees can stay bent. If you notice you're feeling a lot of tension in the shoulders, widen out the hands a little bit. And maybe you turn the fingers slightly, oh so slightly, so the pointer finger is pointed straight toward the short edge of the mat. Take one more breath in, breath out. Inhale, look forward, step or float, flat back. Exhale to bow low. Inhale, reach up, look up. And exhale, reset to Tadasana, mountain pose. Pause here for a moment. I know I'm fidgeting. Try not to fidget as best you can. It's hard though when your hands are cutting into you. Breathe here. Crown of the head presses up. Press down through the tailbone. Tuck up, lift, tuck down, lift up. Find what that means for you and for your body today. Neutral spine. Start to bring the weight back into the heels. Sit the hips back. Utkatasana, chair pose. Inhale. So the weight is in the heels. Our hips are back. Our low ribs are cinching together. Arms are going to be out up from front. So we want to be able to look at the thumb without straining the neck. But maybe our arms are able to go up a little bit more. That's great. So you're going to imagine you can see your thumb. You're going to look through your eyebrow. We don't want to compromise the spine in the shape. Keep that neutral spine. Bring weight into the heel. Sit a little deeper. So we're working to find the balance between strength and ease. Strength is embracing the challenge, and ease doesn't mean the pose becomes easy. It means that the joints and the muscles and the bones are able to stack so we can sink into the shape, lock into the shape, and tap into our strength a little bit more. Let's take one more full breath here. And then as you exhale, lean forward, come to the balls of the feet. Keep the knees bent or straighten the legs. Arms come behind you, diverse pose. So finding the balance, squeeze the ankles together. Lift up through the core. Gaze about 6 inches in front of you. Hold and breathe. 3, 2. Very slowly. Inhale, sit back, chair pose. Exhale, fold. Try not to let the exhale really escape like it's a giant release, even though it is. Inhale, flat back, lengthen. Exhale, find your chaturanga, dandasana. Inhaling, upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in. Deep, slow breath out. As you inhale, float your right leg to the sky. As you exhale, draw knee to belly, chest, or nose. Pause here. Use your core. Lift the thigh up, round through the upper back. Get those shoulders involved. Continue to breathe. Breath is important. If you stop breathing, you pass out. And the point of the practice is to warm up the body so we can sit still for meditation. Inhale, lift the leg high. Exhale, bring it to belly, chest, knee, and nose. Bypass them and step the foot right in between the hands. Low runner's lunge. So I start to cupcake my fingers right away. So coming to the fingertips. You can always create new ground. Bring your blocks or your books underneath the hand. Weight is shifted evenly. So we're putting some weight over the ankle by stacking knee over ankle. Coming to the ball of the back foot, lifting the heel up. When we lift the heel up, you're going to press it back without pressing it down too much. Crown of head forward, hips back. Now start to lift the low belly off the thighs, engage through the core. Inhale, arms reach forward. Exhale, slowly bring the arms back. Inhale, reach forward. Maybe they come out to the sides. Exhale, bring them back. Last time. Inhale, forward. Exhale, back and pause. Press into the big toe mound. Engage through the core. As you inhale, shift your weight forward and lift up into one-legged Tadasana. I'm going to turn toward the screen so you can see me. Your left knee is coming into your chest. So maybe you try that transition again, but we'll do it on the other side in a moment. From here, bring your hands to your heart space. Left ankle across the thigh, sit back, figure four. So weight is in the heels. It's like we're crossing our legs in a chair. Try and allow the chest to lean back, hips back. Flex this front foot. Stay here. Nice and neutral spine. Low ribs in. Breathe. Think about the balance. So you want to bring weight to the inside of the foot. That's the part of the foot designed to bear weight. Sit a little deeper. Maybe you bring your hands, your forearms to your thigh. And maybe, if it feels good, fold forward. Again, these are all just maybes. These are suggestions. Whew. If you're like me and you're like, I'm coming out of it. I'm falling. That's fine. Laugh, come right back into it. Flex the foot, sit back. Take one more breath in. Breath out. Very slowly, inhale, come back to our one-legged Tadasana. Knee into the chest. And then as you exhale, send it back, warrior three. So bring both hands to the hips if you can, and turn the hips down toward the earth. 5 toes pointed down, 5 toes pointed forward. Flex the foot. Lift the upper body out of the leg. Crown of the head forward, leg reaches back. Take a breath in. As you exhale, gently step the foot back. Open up, warrior two. Nice job. So we sometimes make those transitions and it can be really rough and we're slamming into the back foot. We want to use our breath to help guide us back so we don't jam into the joint. Nice neutral spine. Thinking of this as a hip opener. Our front thigh rotates open, knee pointed directly forward, but it's not bending in. It's opening up. Back leg nice and straight. Arms out to the sides. I don't know if you're like me and you're wearing glasses right now and sweat's dripping down your face. Your glasses start to fall too. I want to make sure I can see. As we inhale, reach up, look up, straighten the legs, straighten the arms. And then as you exhale, give yourself a fist bump behind your back, coming into warrior two. Inhale, reach up, look up. Exhale, fist bump behind the back. Last time, inhale, reach up, look up. Exhale, warrior two with the fist bump to hold. Think of this as your fist bump of awesomeness. You're like, yeah, I got up, I did my yoga, I'm awesome today. fist bump. Staying right there with your fist bump. I want to show you, try not to rest your hands on the back. Work the hands away from the body. And that might be half an inch, it might be an inch. You're drawing the shoulder blades together and you're activating all those little muscles. Gaze is still forward for 3, 2. As you inhale, reach the arms out, straighten through the front leg. And then as you exhale, Trikonasana triangle pose. So tick-tock the hands between 12 and 6. The intention I want us to get at today with this shape is to work on this QL muscle. So our psoas is up here, our QL muscle is back here. And they're really important. As the psoas does, so does the other muscles in the body, and particularly the QL. So press to the outer edge of the back foot, send your hips back, slight micro bend in the knee, and reach up. Find length through this side body. Both of these muscles affect how the diaphragm can help us breathe, which is our main breathing muscle. And if we're sitting today, or if we're feeling a lot of anxiety and whatnot, we want to make sure we can breathe. And so we're doing what we can physically to help open that up. Lift up. Try and let this bottom hand be nice and light. Maybe you bring your hand to a book or to the ground, but you want to make sure you can breathe. That's the most important part. So don't be like, I have to go all the way to the ground. If you can't breathe, it's not worth it. Lengthen out through this side body. Gaze comes up. Hold here. 3, 2. Inhale, frame your front foot, low runner's lunge. Exhale, take your vinyasa. High plank to low. Baby cobra, upward facing dog. Inhale. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in. Deep breath out. As you inhale, float your left leg to the sky. As you exhale, shift forward, knee to belly, chest, or nose. Round through the upper back, shift weight forward. Get those shoulders involved. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, driving by, belly, chest, knee and nose, step the foot forward. It's okay to bring the foot out to bring it in. We want to avoid the scraping sound. And we want to use our hips. Get the body mechanics involved. It's a movement, it's a dance, it's a yoga dance. So from here, again, come right to the fingertips. Press. Crown of the head forward. Heel back. Lift low belly off the thighs. That doesn't mean when you breathe that the belly's not going to touch. We just don't want to rest there. Inhale. Reach forward. Exhale. Reach back. You might take bigger sweeping movements. I just will hit my table. Inhale forward. Exhale back. Last time. Forward and back. Pausing here. Shift weight forward. Press into the left foot. Inhale, one-legged Tadasana. Hands can come to the heart space. And then come into your figure 4 as you exhale. So bring your right ankle over the left thigh. Sit back into the heels. Sit down. Neutral spine. So sit back a little bit as if you're sitting in a chair. Flex the foot. Glute, hip, lots of core and balance. Focus on the balance, focus on the breath. If you've got to pick 2, breath first, balance second. Stay here, forearms or fold. Up to you. 3, 2, 1. Your next inhale, slowly come up, bring the knee into the chest. And then as you exhale, warrior 3. Both hands to the hip points. Turn the hip bone down, lift up. Maybe you take a different arm variation. Maybe you bring your arms long behind you. Maybe you bring your arms in front of you. It's okay if you fall, let yourself fall. We get a lot of success out of trial and error. I think success is being like, I'm going to take this. And if I fall, that's great. But if we stick at that success too, so there's varying degrees. Whew. Let's take one more breath in here. Breath out. Inhale, lengthen. As you exhale, slowly step back, open up, warrior two. Find your shape. Press the outer edge of the foot, bend through the front knee. Low belly up, tailbone down. You got this. Inhale, reach up, look up. Exhale, fist bump of awesomeness. Inhale, reach up, look up. Exhale, fist bump. Twice more. Breath in. Breath out. Last time, inhale. Exhale, fist bump to hold. Work the hands away from the shirt. Gaze forward. 3, 2, 1. Inhale, reach forward, straighten the leg. And exhale, triangle pose. Always feel free to bunny hop the back foot in. Send hips back. Press the outer edge of the back foot. Tick-tock hands. Gaze will come up if it's okay on the neck. But remember, we don't have to crank our neck. Long spine. And then just look through the eyes. Lengthen through the side body. Press, press, press. Feel the stretch through our QL muscle. 5, 4, 3, 2. Inhale, frame the front foot. Exhale, find your vinyasa. Take a full breath in and a full breath out. As you inhale, draw down to the knees and take a child's pose. Check back in with the body. Use this as a moment to check in and notice how the breath feels. Notice how the body feels. What has come up during this time? If you've lost the breath, take this moment to reestablish it. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the nose. And then gently pull yourself up to tabletop. Inhale. And then exhale, we're going to come on back to our backs. No fancy transition there. The breath is so important, and I keep talking about it because that is the driver of our practice. Because at the end of the day, the physical aspects are going to go away as we move down the 8 limbs toward Pratyahara, Dharana, Dhyana, and then Samadhi, which is all, really comes through meditation. And we can make this a moving meditation to achieve that. But we want to be able to eventually sit in stillness and also sit amongst all the busyness and craziness to be able to breathe and to meditate. So there's my soapbox for the day. More on that at another time. So for bridge pose, come on down. Bringing the feet and the knees hip-width distance apart. And I should mention, you can measure that by your thumb and your pinky finger. So you might do that a couple of times just to note where that's at. And once that becomes muscle memory and familiar in your body, you won't have to do that as often. Work the heels in. Now you can take wheel if it's in your practice, but we didn't do a lot of chest opening today, so I would advise against it and stick with bridge pose. Okay? With that, hands will press down, press the low back into the earth so the tailbone will tuck up. Inhale, send the hips high to the sky, almost level with the knees. Palms can stay pressing, or you can work the shoulders underneath the body, clasping the hands at the seat. Gaze is up. Imagine you've got something in between your legs, or if you have your block close by, stick it there. You're squeezing the thighs toward the midline without moving them to make them touch. When you do that, you start to lose the integrity of the back. Breathe here. 5. Press the feet forward. Press the hips forward. 3, 2, and 1. Slowly lower down. Windshield wiper the feet from side to side. Trying to avoid to bring the knees right into the chest. That can crunch the back, and we're working to create length and open up the front side of the body. So working with the spine where it's at today. Let's take that again. We'll take 2 more. And this last two, we're just gonna touch down and come back up. So prep, again, heels in, everything hips width distance apart. Inhale, lift. Shoulders can come underneath. Breathe here. Press everything forward. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Touch down. Inhale, right back up. Press, press, press. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower down. Take a full body stretch. And then from here, draw your knees to the outsides of the ribs. Happy baby. So again, not right on top of the ribs, on the outside. Rock from side to side. Maybe you extend one leg, then the other. Then draw the knees into the chest. Take a few rock and rolls up and down the length of the spine. And then your third rock, come up to a seat. So we're going to take a yin shape, and we won't hold it as long. We're going to take deer pose to help us stretch out this front side of the body. We always tend to do a lot of stretching of the back side of the body and the lengthening of the front. And I want to make sure we're doing a little lengthening of the front as well. So I'm just going to turn toward the front. We're going to start on the right side today. Bring your right leg behind you. Be mindful of the knee. This is where like a sweatshirt or something can come in handy if you're feeling there's a lot of pressure on the joint. Top of the foot can be down, or if that's too much, you can bring the foot out slightly to the side. Left foot in. Going for that stretch along the front side of the body, just start to lean back. And we're going to be here for about a minute, and I have a timer in front of me. I'm just going to open up this spot. So see if you can breathe here. You can come all the way onto the ground if you'd like. I don't think I can do that at the moment. My spine is not there yet, so I'm not. Also know the farther back you go, the more you're going to get into the sacral lumbar joint. So that's where the sacrum and the lumbar spine meet. You just want to be mindful of that as well. So close the eyes if that feels good. Find your deep Ujjayi breath. About 30 seconds left here. And take a deep, slow breath in. Deep, slow breath out. Very gently inhale, reach up. And then exhale, bring the knees in, whoosh them from side to side. Let's go ahead and switch directions. So this time our left leg's gonna come behind us. Right knee will be bent. Be very mindful and gentle, again, of the knee. So if this hurts the knees, please don't do this. And then from here, start to find your way back. 1 minute. Each side can be very different. And in yin, we hold this shape for about 4 minutes. So if it starts to feel all right to you and you're, enjoying the stretch or you're getting something beneficial out of it, consider maybe doing this later. And we did this on Friday night during Slow Flow Plus Yin class. So you can always go to that video and take it there. But it's important that we open up this front side of the body, especially if we're sitting all day, because if these muscles get short, it's going to pull the hips in different directions, making it a bit more challenging to walk. And as we know, that if our hips are doing funky things, that can affect our diaphragm or breathing muscle. And we want to be able to breathe. About 20 seconds left here. Again, feeling the stretch along the front side of the leg, opening up the front side of the body. Being able to receive the positivity of the day. And take one more breath in, breath out. Slowly start to come on up. Reach your legs out long in front of you. So nice and tall. So bring your hands behind you, cupcake the fingers, crown of the head reaches up, tailbone reaches down. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Keep a flat back, so you might not go down as far. Don't round. Don't let the shoulders come toward the ear. Allow the spine to lengthen. The goal is not to reach the toes. It's to open up the back side of the body, reset the spine, and help us find balance in the nervous system. So hands can come to the ankles, calves, wherever they need to, even on the ground. For 3, 2, 1. Inhale, lift up, reach forward, and then exhale, lower slowly all the way down. Lift your legs up to the sky. Final inversion here. If you have another inversion in your practice you wish to take, please feel free to do so. We're just doing this as an opportunity to switch the flow of blood, move the blood around a little bit differently. There's this idea, or this, we've heard it so many times before that, fresh blood will get to the brain. That's not necessarily true. There is a mechanism in the body that will stop the blood getting into the brain. But what this does is it helps move the blood slightly differently, so our organs can get some fresh blood. What we might be feeling that whoosh after we come out of this is our energy flow. So we're awakening our Kundalini coil here, which is at the bottom of the spine, the root, where a lot of energy is housed. And through this rotation of the energy, through this transfer of energy, we're able to reawaken that energetic line, wake it up. So that might be what you feel. We'll take one more breath in, breath out, and slowly just bring the knees into the chest, draw the feet down, and straighten out the legs. Shavasana, final resting pose. Take some time here to just let everything go. Let the body sink into the earth. Hopefully you're feeling a bit more lighter, a bit more centered, a bit more peaceful. What is the connection right now between mind, breath, and body? You feel a bit more solid in that connection. Hopefully you do. It's okay if it feels a little disjointed. There's a lot going on in the world. But see if you can let the breath soften, let the body soften, let all of the muscles work away from the bones. Begin to feel the weight of your body on the ground and start to invite some gentle movement back into the body by wiggling fingers and toes. Reach the arms and the legs long, take a full body stretch, and then roll onto your favorite side, pausing for a moment. As you're ready, maybe give yourself a big hug on your way up to finding a comfortable seat, where we'll give ourselves a big hug if we haven't done so already. And then bringing our hands to our heart space, honoring the intention that brought us to our practice, that brought us to our mat today. Bowing our heads in a moment of gratitude, thanking ourselves for making time for our mat, and silently thanking those who joined us this morning to create this virtual community. May you all carry this sense of gratitude with you throughout the day, letting it bring positivity into your life. Raise your thumbs to the space between the eyes, the third eye center, the seat of the intuition. Know everything you need is already inside. Namaste. Thank you all so very much for joining me this morning. Oh, you got coffee. I hope you have a fabulous day, and I look forward to seeing you on later this week. On Wednesday, we're going to do a morning yin and meditation. So using yin as a way to move our stagnant energy around and get us going for the day, plus meditation to help us recharge and connect in a different way with mind and body. So hopefully see you all then. Bye.